What is the point? What is the point of believing in God? Why bother? Why have a relationship with God? Why have faith in God? Well, it's a belief in love. That's what it is. It's a belief in things getting better. It's a belief in reconstruction, healing, restoration, to make things better for all of us. And that also includes everything experienced as the opposite. Because if I'm walking around punching myself in the face like this all day long, and I'm not aware of it for some reason, maybe I need to go past a mirror or something to become aware of what I'm actually doing in self-harm. And this becomes quite the obvious and clear explanation using the fist, punching oneself in the face. But we are entertaining and actually doing a lot of destructive behaviors that we aren't aware of. And sometimes there is just so much stress and pressure that we cannot see clearly. So how are we gonna stop doing that, which is actually killing us, that is pulling us apart, that is making things worse actually, which is coming further away from love? Well, we got to become aware of it. We cannot do anything about anything if it doesn't exist. So we got to become aware of what we're actually doing. That's also love, but that's also a lot of pain. That's a great deal of pain because we have to be in absolute understanding of what is, oh my God, this is actually going on. This is hurting and killing us. This is pulling us apart. This is destroying everything. So you got to become aware of that as to make a change for the better. And then you need support. And what better support to do that than universal, continuous, unconditional support of pure love, which God is. Why not believe and invest everything in God? Because without God, there is nothing. Without love, there is nothing. All is love. Everything is love. Even the pain, even the hurt, even the disease, even the discomfort is love. Because it's telling us that way to feel better, to make it better, to make a change for the better. If we didn't have this place to come from extreme pain and discomfort, we would have nowhere to go. It's a contrasting universe. It's a universal Star Wars. It's light against dark. And it's all about choosing sides. And that is not done by just, yeah, I'm on the light side. And that's that. You also have to participate. But it's not in warfare like that. The warfare is not to kill by any material comprehensions. It's spiritual. So if we have something in society that is actually hurting us, killing us, pulling us apart, destroying the human race. We can kill that, but we use suffocation with energy. We starve it. To live in a star nation, we starvation. Something that is non-constructive in relation to love and also in the right context is something that should be killed as soon as we realize how dangerous it is. And that is difficult to realize in the midst of everything because a lack of presence. Too much stress, too much shit going on. And that's actually also a choice to direct your focus to all of these dramas and garbage instead of looking at life, instead of actually looking at how to make life better. Then you worry about your neighbor having a green jacket. Why does he have a green jacket? Like stuff like that. People are like that. And then they blame the government and the politics and world leaders as why the world is in such bad shape and the environment is being destroyed. Well, look at yourself hating that green jacket instead of actually using your energy by choice for something constructive and loving in the world as to create a world of love. Why not congratulate your neighbor for looking so good in that green jacket? Maybe you want a green jacket yourself, but you're too afraid to buy one because you are afraid that people are going to talk about you, just like you talked about your neighbor. Projection. People don't understand this. Life is all projection, reflection. Stop hating, start loving. And that's the reason to be connected to God and actually understand that we get what we give. And I like to spell what with W-A-T-T, like in energy, because it's all about what you project as in energy and also what you state. And that becomes something manifested in the world in the form of jealousy or inspiration, in the form of condemnation and judgment, or in support, basically. So what are you? Are you a supporter of destruction, or are you a supporter of anything constructive, making things better, which is actually love? And actually take a look at that, and maybe take your pettiness and all of your small-minded conflicts and turn them inwards and ask yourself, why am I hating so much? Why am I not supporting? Why am I killing love around me? And the answer to that is actually that you need to come to a place of self-love. You are in conflict with yourself. And that conflict is also contributing to a conflict outside of yourself. So hating that neighbor with a green jacket, instead of getting inspired from maybe subconsciously and honestly wanting to buy a green jacket yourself, you start a little war. That's a little warfare. It is. If you do that large scale, you kill a whole country that likes to wear green jackets. That's the same thing. All this judgment, condemnation, and pettiness, small-minded ego business is all about black and white. It's all about me and the others, not seeing that we are actually connected by energy and we are one spirit, we are one family. And what's killing is killing the whole family. What's loving is loving and embracing the whole family. And that includes the country wearing all green jackets and the neighbor who now has a blue jacket because they like color. But the point of it all is to actually be connected and affirm God as real. God is love. Affirm God. Have a relationship with God. Thank God. We are nothing. We have nothing. We have never received anything, and we shall never receive anything at all without God. God is the ultimate reality, and God is pure loving consciousness, non-conceptual energy. And that's the point. That is what has been trying to be communicated to the human race for thousands of years, which we have understood somewhat along the way and trying to make a book out of that. To write it down. Ooh, this is so good, I gotta write this down. And then we haven't really developed enough to talk about universal laws like we can do today with attraction and vibration and energy. So we had to create a bunch of metaphors as to keep this digestible, like comprehensible for generations to come. And that's why we have these old texts that still work, but they are all metaphors. They are all talking about energy. They are all talking about the universal laws, and they are all talking about love. And they are all talking about truth, and actually the basic principle of a scale, and having a negative and positive side, and actually focusing your energy on what you want. And then you give that attention, and then you get that back, because it's a reflective law of resonance universe. And that's attraction, because you attract what you are. So you are the positive, constructive support. You are love. You be love yourself. And then you get love back. And then it creates a loving society. All based on a foundation of energy and the universal laws, which is not an opinion. It's not debatable. It is forever solid, forever infinite. There is no change in that. Because if there is just the slightest bit of change, there is no universe, because the universe is imperfection. So why not trust ultimate reality and perfection? Really, it's quite a deal. It is quite something constructive, supportive, healing, reassuring. And as a human being, we cannot see the future with clarity. We can have premonitions as visions and dreams, but there is no certainty of a positive outcome, so we worry. And God says, you have nothing to worry about if you are in a relationship and in alignment with me. Don't take that personal. This is just what would be defined as words coming from a source of absolute, infinite love. To have faith, to have a strong sense of faith, I believe is often misunderstood. Like like belief and faith is like, oh, I'm gonna believe in God so much now. It's not like that. If you look at a basic scale, you have the negative, the positive, which makes for darkness, light, and day, night. And then you have the balance point at the top, which is in perfection, at the point of perfection. That's where God is. God is everything, but that's God. Not in any tension, not in any conflict, not in any opposition, not in any wavering, not in anything. Just is. Like this. So if you feel like you are struggling in your life and you're having a conflict and you're like, God, why? Why is this happening? It's just so terrible. Please, God. God is just like, are you done? And then after a while, you get all of that out because you needed to express a lot of frustration, and that's what it was all about. And then you come back to peace, peace of mind, peace of heart. That's faith. Just resting assured as to, I don't see any land across the Atlantic Ocean. I have no instruments telling me where I am. I don't know when the wind is gonna blow. I don't know shit. But I have complete faith that it's gonna be a smooth ride as long as I keep telling myself that. As long as I keep telling myself that. And if any challenges come along, they are meant for my expansion and to learn. And maybe it was because I was a bit arrogant, so there was a little test coming along, like yeah, because having faith and being resting assured and being at that point of peace can also be, it can be like, yeah, I have faith, I feel God, I feel the love. And then it's just like, yeah. And then that's arrogance. That's not faith really anymore. That's just like, yeah, I don't have to do anything. God will like carry me materially. And I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest doing your part and actually participating in life, showing up for life, because then God will blow wind in your sails. Otherwise, God will just be, where are you going with that boat? Are you just gonna go out in the Atlantic Ocean without a plan? Are you having any intentions in life? Are you, like, you cannot plan for your whole life existence, like, this is what my life is gonna be, I'm gonna plan my life to the detail. I really wouldn't suggest doing that. But you need to have an intention, a sole intention as to, I want this and this and this to happen in my life. I want these connections and I would love to be a part of this because, and then you have a sole intention. Because that's like, it's like God is blowing wind in your back, in your ship, in your boat, all the time, but without an intention, you have not put up your sails. It's more like that. If you have an intention, a strong intention, yeah, I want to do this and I want to be a part of this and this is what I dream of. You have your sails up. And then you be attentive and interested and enthusiastic about, whoa, this journey, life. That's the journey. That's what you need to be interested in participating in and actually showing up for and actually being enthusiastic about. That's you being like more on the boat, sailing across the Atlantic Ocean instead of just up with the sailing. Yeah, God, and then a whale comes and just breaks your whole boat, and you have to swim like 70% of the distance, and it becomes really tough, super tough. And you're like, God, why are you punishing me? God doesn't punish. You were arrogant. And that's actually a definition of bipolarity. Somebody being bipolar. You have your spine, which is all of your energy centers. So you have your crown chakra and you have your root chakra and then you have your heart chakra. You can call them donuts, I don't care. It's just energy centers and it's all the colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, ultraviolet, white, whatever. That's also the 7 root notes on the piano for 1 octave. I know 1 octave is 8, but it's a C again after the, yeah. Where was I with this? Oh my God, I lost track so much. Arrogance. Yeah, bipolar. If you are feeling completely unworthy, like you feel worthless, then you are at the lowest of your general state of feeling, as in frequency, as in vibration. Your energy is at the lowest. That's feeling low. Make sense? And if you feel high, then you are at the highest frequency. And that's also an expression, a state of being. But to be bipolar and experience life as one or the other, just like light or darkness, that's a yo-yo going from the peak to the bottom. So it's everything's possible. Oh my God, and that's all true. It's all true, but it is very hard to remain there. It demands a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy from you. And if you are not in a subconscious understanding of actually feeling good enough for yourself, as that state becomes so energy demanding that you actually aren't able to hold that anymore, you will not drop down to good enough, which is here, which is centered, which is balanced. This is number 4. And there are 3 and 3 chakras, energy centers, donuts. So this is where you need to be connected. And this is also where God is. God is love. So you need to have your connection to God here. But if you never stop here, despite where you've been, you will always be in like the peak, the bottom, the peak, the bottom, the peak, the bottom. That's demanding. I've been there. I've been there all my life. And it's terrible because it's everything's gonna happen. I'm gonna meet somebody. Oh, the money's coming. I'm gonna get that job I've always wanted. My family is gonna be restored. Everybody's gonna be friends. Everybody's gonna be. It's all gonna be fantastic. Ooh, that new jacket. The weather is fantastic. What? Oh, what a nice vacation. Whatever. Everything is just great. And that is visions and dreams of possibilities, for sure. It's not lies, but you cannot stay there. So you can dream and you can try to keep a bit more of a balance as you do so, and not let yourself go to like, because the energy will run out and you are gonna come down again. Whatever goes up must come down. And it's really nice to have dreams and visions and land here again, to come back to like the hands of God holding you, making you feel secure, resting assured, like a baby, instead of going to hell, where Satan is, and will not hold you, but will whip you and punish you and ridicule you and condemn you and judge you and tell you that you're a piece of shit and nothing's gonna happen and life is worthless and you can just kill yourself today. And that's the bipolar state, jumping between those two. And if you aren't connected to God and actually understanding that God is love, you will also not have anywhere to go. You will be the seeker. You will be like, oh, I can't get a grasp on this. I have nothing to grab onto. I just go from this, I feel so great, and then I just want to kill myself. And it's just like that all the time. And it's so demanding. I don't know how long I can deal with this. And the only answer is to come back to love, come back to God, and come back home. Home is where the heart is. That's where home is. Everything else is temporary and just in ecstasy or in like judgment and all of these contrasting extremes all the time. And that's so demanding. And I'm sorry, but there really isn't a pill for this. There really isn't any better solution than the natural solution. And if you are having troubles with envisioning and dreaming of beautiful, good things happening for you, and you are living with a lot of condemnation like you are in hell all the time, you're actually carrying a lot of subconscious convictions that are speaking against you. And you need to communicate, you need to express yourself, you need to talk, you need to get those demons out. Because all darkness is just a mosquito from the beginning. And as we leave that, it grows into a dragon. And when it's a dragon, it can kill you. But the mosquito only takes a bit of blood. It's annoying, but the dragon is way more dangerous. And that's just a metaphor and a figure of speech of not getting rid of the mosquitoes, not expressing, not getting it out. And that calls for no judgments, just stating what you feel. This is how I feel. I feel like killing myself. I feel like everything's going to shit. I feel like just be authentic and just say it. Write it down, whatever. And get it out. And begin to speak good over yourself. Speak love over yourself. As I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am actually amazing. I am fantastic. And when you say that, you feel that inside your heart. And then you start to impress your subconscious with something that is constructive instead of destructive. And then you return home as often as possible in conversations with people, in eating, in walking, in sleeping, in having a shower. Return home. Stay at home. You can leave your apartment, but you can still stay home. You get it? Stay in your heart space as much as you can. And notice that when you leave home, there is often a judgment. Then the thoughts begin. Then you can go home again and feel the energy centered here. And then the judgment is just like, if you are really focused with your energy in your heart, connected to love, connected to God, there is no judgments. Then it's not like it's even muffled. You don't hear them. And that's a bit of an exercise. We're not used to, many of us, to be in the heart space. But that's where the love is. The love is really not centered in your shoulder or your pinky or your knee or in your left ear, or it's in your heart. That's why we have a heart symbol that symbolizes love. That's why we write songs that say, listen to your heart. God is love. Love is the point. The point of actually making things better, making us friends again, making everything resolve, making us come together, making us enjoy our stay on earth, having a human experience instead of fighting. Because life is short and it's the only one you got. All right, I love you.